Hello and welcome to Rathods IS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 30th January 2024. So first of all, we are going to take PDF of Hindu, and here I am taking Delhi edition. So whichever edition that you are taking, it's okay. Don't worry about we have to take only Delhi edition or Hyderabad edition or Chennai edition like that. So whichever the newspaper is available to you, so you can read that newspaper. And we are going to point out the articles which are relevant from our UPSC point of view, and we are linking with the syllabus where exactly it fits, and even we are going to see different dimensions that you have to see from that topic point of view, and even we are going to have an exercise of connecting one subject with another subject. That is very important, and this approach will be very useful to write your mains answers, and this approach will not be taught anywhere. So you have to learn this type of approach by reading this newspaper. Then only you can write a very good mains answer. So we are going to focus on mains the most, because mains is the most challenging. So if you want to clear UPSC, you need to have good mains answering skills, good analytical skills, good thinking ability, and good thinking ability from different dimensions point of view, that we are going to learn. And if you are watching this Rathods IS current affairs, please do watch daily. So how I am maintaining consistency? In the same way you have to maintain consistency, so that I can ensure you that you are going to excel in thinking process, and even you will be having the good abilities than others in writing a mains answer. So that is for sure. So this is the front page of Hindu, and I found nothing which is very important from UPSC point of view. So leave this. And there are not more than 5 to 6 articles in today's newspaper that is relevant from our examination point of view. And prelims is very much near. Focus on CSAT. Don't take CSAT light, because CSAT is using as a weapon by UPSC to eliminate as many students as possible. Especially students from science background, arts background, focus on your CSAT. So daily spend at least 1.5 hours on your CSAT. Try to practice as many problems as possible, and even you have to go through this English comprehensions as well. So this is the tip of the day. So in this page, that is city page, I found one article that is about drug cases on rise, peddlers target college students. So here this article is talking about drug menace. So let us see the dimensions. So what are the dimensions that you have to see here? So first of all, this article is important from GS paper 2 health point of view, and even from GS paper 2 international relations point of view, and even you can connect this topic with GS paper 3 science and technology point of view. So first you have to know about examples of these drugs. For example, we have heroin, we have opium, like that we have different examples of these drugs. And here you have to see why this drug menace is happening in India, especially NCR, Delhi, NCR is nothing but Delhi, and even Punjab and Haryana regions, you are facing with this problem of drug menace, drug addiction, because of location of India. So I am drawing just a thematic map. So this is India, right? So here we have golden crescent, and here we have golden triangle. I will write the names. We have golden crescent, here we have golden triangle. So these golden crescent and golden triangle are the areas which are producing this drugs. So they are going for cultivation. They are going for cultivation of these drugs like opium. So if you see exactly the location of India, which is sandwiched between this golden crescent and golden triangle, so that drug trafficking is happening. Okay, so this is one important thing, and especially this article says that now drug peddlers, they are targeting these college students. So in city, especially even in Hyderabad, in many colleges like graduation colleges, so there is a problem of this drug menace. Especially college students, they are addicted to these drugs, and even in pubs also you will be getting these drugs. Okay, so because of this, many a times the cases will be filed. Okay, so here you have to see what are the reasons why these college students are targeted. That is the one important thing that you have to think, and even you have to see like what is the impact. So whenever you are going for drug addiction, it will be having negative impact on health. It will be having impact on psychomotor. Okay, psychomotor functions of human beings. Right? So if you are being addicted, then again we will come across this concept called as drug rehabilitation or de-addiction centers. Now Punjab is focusing on increasing of de-addiction centers. Okay, so all these things are very, very important regarding this article point of view. Clear? Yeah, this is the first article. And if you move on, in the states page, I found nothing much important. Directly you can move on to this editorial page. So yes, I want to say one important thing. Yesterday, there is one article that I missed. So I will be giving you the gist of that article. Okay. Yes. So yesterday one article which came up in editorial page. So that article talked about India's challenges. So here author, he talked about two important things. The first one here is external problems and internal problems. They talked about external problems and internal problems. So in external problems, author talked about global issues which are going on. So he said about the problems of this 2024. So year 2024, what are the problems that we are going to face? So if you are seeing about the global level, so he talked about Russia-Ukraine issue. It has started in February 2022 onwards, but till now, what happened? There is no resolution, and even the war is continuing on. And another dilemma, he said that in West Asia, we are seeing like Hamas and Israel issue, that is regarding Israel and Palestine issue. So in Palestine we have Hamas. So they started attacking this Israel. And what happened? So there are about 250 hostages, and finally they had been released, and even because of the attacks, hospitals and children, they had died in this region. And recently what happened? Iran also came into picture. Yes or no? So Iran came into picture, and Iran started supporting this Hamas. I also started supporting Houthis. So these are Houthis from Yemen. And Iran now, it's controlling this Red Sea by using this Yemen and Houthis. And Iran now started attacking vessels, merchant vessels which are going in this region. So they are using anti-ship ballistic missiles. They are using this anti-ship ballistic missiles and also drones to attack the ships, and even recently one incident of piracy was noticed. And not only this, Iran is also attacking Iraq. So here Iran said that Iraq, which wants to liberate one region, so which is uniting the some amount of region from Iraq and as well as Balochistan. And even Iraq started attacking this Pakistan. Okay. So these are the some things which are happening in West Asia. And one more important thing which mainly said here is internal issues. So what are the internal issues that we are going to see here is, first and the foremost thing is inflation in our country. And even there are some issues of left-wing extremism. So recently you know that left-wing extremism is nothing but Naxalism. So recently we came up with agreement with ULFA. Yes or no? So our union government or central government came up with agreement with Assam, that is regarding ULFA. So even though some fragments of ULFA, they are not standing on this agreement, especially from Mizoram, Nagaland and Assam region. So it is also one important cause of concern. And one more important issue is China. China always make abused statements. Okay, it will be following this wolf warfare. It is following this wolf warfare. Okay, so China is following this wolf warfare. So China will be making statements regarding Maldives, and especially here the issue with Bhutan and also Nepal. So Nepal and Bhutan, they are sharing directly boundary with India. But even though slow and steadily, so this Bhutan and Nepal, they are coming under the influence of China. So recently we discussed that regarding this BRI, Belt and Road Initiative of China, here Nepal is accepting and is also coming up with some projects with China. Yes or no? And even if you see here Maldives, so the relations between Maldives and India are going down day by day, right? So Maldives asked India to remove Indian troops from Maldives, and even what are the choppers that we gifted Maldives, so they want to return those 2 choppers to India. So this is also one internal issue. And one more important issue which said by the author, not by me, is about Ram Mandir. So Ram Mandir opening in Ayodhya. So here the ruling party which is in power in central government, that is BJP is using Hinduism for elections, okay, for electoral agenda. So this is the thing which mainly said by this author. And whenever this type of religion which is used, that will leads to communal violence. That will leads to communal violence which is happening in Manipur, okay, like that. So these are the some challenges that we are going to face in this 2024. So these are something which mainly said. Okay, clear? Understood? Yesterday I missed this article. So I thought that after once the discussion of notes, I have to take that. But unfortunately I missed. So I am telling now. So if you want, you can make a notes. Okay, so if you are getting any essay regarding the challenges that you are facing in 2024, you can write this. And even this topic is at most important from your mains. So you can get a question also, okay, regarding what are the challenges that you are facing from global level and as well as from India level. Okay, clear? Yeah, now let us move on to next topic. So this article is talking about growth mania can be injurious to society. So this article is talking about growth mania. So there is decreasing of growth is seen. So because of this decreasing of growth, it will be injurious to society. So here this article is at most important because so we had recently WEF meet. WEF is nothing but World Economic Forum meet. So in this meet, they said about India's challenges, and yes, we are seeing that the growth is happening, but this growth is not sustainable because we are seeing inequalities in societies. Not only inequalities, even rural wage rates are not optimum. So all these things are very, very important, and we are going to see this article in detail. So now let us see the notes part. So I am thinking that whenever we are discussing the article, so by the time only I will be discussing the notes part also, so that it will be very helpful for you and it will be not wasting your time much. Okay, so here the first article, it is talking about growth mania. So why it is in news? Recently, 53rd edition of annual World Economic Forum Summit happened. So here the homework I want to give you here is you have to refer some facts regarding World Economic Forum, and let me know some facts regarding World Economic Forum in the comment box, and even please let me know which are the reports which is released by this World Economic Forum. Clear? Yes, this 53rd edition of this annual World Economic Forum, okay, summit was held in Davos, Switzerland. Okay, and students who are preparing for TSPSC, Davos is very important because recently Telangana Chief Minister also went to Davos. Okay, so now let us see what are the Indian perspectives which are discussed in this Economic Forum Summit. So first one is Indian participation. So India this year participated, and this is about 36 years of forum's collaboration with India. So at this summit, India is represented by high-level delegation. So this delegations which includes chief ministers, union ministers and business leaders. So all these people, they attended this meeting. And what are the focus areas? So they focused on especially investment opportunities, whether they are going to get investments or not. Because the problem that we are facing is decreasing of investments in India. And even we are focusing on infrastructure landscape, and we are focusing on inclusive and sustainable growth story as well. And even the third important point that focused here is India's resilience and economic trajectory. So here this article says that yes, India crossed lots and lots of barriers. For example, COVID-19, for example, supply chain disruptions. Okay, and even in this COVID-19 also, India emerged as a fast growing economy. And India is the 5th largest economy in the world now. And this one is some prominent indicators for India which says that yes, we are having the good economic growth, like World Bank's latest India development update. So this update of World Bank which said that India's real GDP growth is expected to be 6.9%. Okay, and here the comparison to 8.7% in financial year 2021 to 2022. So even though it is less, but if you see here, yes, there are some prominent indicators, they are showing that yes, the growth will be happening in India. So here India also came up with this India at this 100 document. So this is a potential of US dollars 26 trillion economy, and this report which is focusing on $26 trillion economy, and it has been launched by India on the sidelines of the summit. Why we are releasing this type of papers? That will be helpful for attracting of as many investments as possible. So whenever we are attracting investments, that will be helpful for the overall growth of our economy. And as per this report, it says that India's economy will reach US dollars 26 trillion by 2047. So this will be the 100th year of India's independence. Okay, so here this article is, now this article says about some challenges that you are facing. So first one is the recent growth in India is that it has been accompanied by growing inequality. Yes, the growth is happening on one side, but it's not equal growth. All people are not growing. So only the rich are becoming richer and poor are becoming still poorer. So there is a wide range of gap between the poor and rich which is seen. So here this article says that yes, we have some challenge of growth inequality. And it has by now reached the levels that make India one of the more unequal societies. So because of this increasing of gap between this rich and as well as poor, what happened? So India became one of the most important country, okay, that have unequal societies in the world. And even rural wage rates. The problem with this identifying of the wages here is the data which is released by this Labor Bureau. Okay, so data even which is collected by income tax records, they says that the wage data can convey information on the level of living at the bottom of the pyramid. So if you're analyzing the data which is released by this Labor Bureau or income tax records, so that will help to analyze what is the exact conditions of the poor at the pyramid. Okay, at the bottom of the pyramid. And even one more problem with this labor bureau data is, so they are giving data only of men, not for women. So that we will be thinking that in the same way as that of men, women age is also increasing, but it is not the same. And absence of this data on women workers, it is one of the serious omission, as women, they have historically constituted approximately half of the workforce in cultivation of certain crops. And even if you see one more data, that is 6th Economic Census of India 2013-14 reports, which says that 51.7% of employed, they are in rural India. And of this, here majority 68.9%, they are working as non-agricultural workers, and there is lack of proper data regarding these people. So in this way here, about 35% of India's workforce, here exactly the real wages have not grown since 2014. Since 2014, there is no increase of real wages of these people. And even though there is growth of the economy, and also per capita income at the bottom of the pyramid is not rising. So this is also one important challenge. There is no increasing of the real wages of these people. And especially over the period between 2014 to 2023, real per capita income had been increased. So overall country's income had been increased by 37%, but the people at the bottom of this pyramid, so their wages had been increased by just 5%. So you can see the gap, which is very high. Yes, clear? And now let us move back to the paper. And next topic is populism does not help public health. So this article is also very important from your GS paper 2 point of view. So now let us see. So this article is talking about public health. So if you're talking about health measures, so we have to take, we have different healthcare structure. So we have primary, we have secondary, and we have tertiary. So the first thing that you have to know. And next one is, if you're talking about improving of health, we will be talking about treatment. So normally treatment is called as RX in the medical terminology, right? So here we are focusing on preventive treatment. And here we are focusing on curative. So what is the difference between this preventive and curative? So preventive means before getting the disease itself, we are taking some measures. So one such example that everyone will be knowing is about vaccines. So we are taking vaccines to prevent the diseases. And India is also coming up with providing free vaccines to the childs under this Universal Immunization Program UIP. So that is focusing on preventive medicine. And curative means after you get the disease and after you are facing signs and symptoms. For example, you got fever. So in this fever, you will be feeling like your temperature had been increased, and sometimes you have difficulty in breathing, cough, cold, body pains, etc. whatnot. So after that, you will be going to the nearby hospital and you will be getting the medicines, consultation, medicines, etc. That kind of treatment is called as curative treatment. So if you see the recent issues, yes, we have increased case of dengue. Yes or no? So we have increased case of dengue in many urban areas. So in that condition, we are focusing on the preventive steps. So it is not correct because there is no proper treatment. Okay. And one more thing here is, it is caused by especially mosquito. That is Aedes aegypti mosquito. Okay. So you have to know that. And here you have to also need to know about some important features of this dengue disease and causative organism, whether it is a parasite or virus or it is caused by dengue virus. And you have to see what are the signs and symptoms, and you have to see what is the treatment, and you have to see whether vaccine is present or not. Okay, so here Especially this article is saying that political parties, you're focusing on populism. Okay, so they are especially giving some schemes to increase their popularity, and even during electoral times you are coming up with this type of schemes. Okay, so because of this, it is one cause of concern. Okay, so here let us see like what are the populistic measures are taken by the political parties, how it is detrimental to our healthcare system. So this article is important. Okay, so now let us see this article. So here author says that it is not dramatic triumphs of curative medicine that dominate the story. So there are some quite victories. So even we are focusing on this curative medicine, like we are focusing on, for example, vaccines. So we have this universal immunization program. So because of this program, now the children, they are getting the free vaccines, for example, in Anganwadi centers and primary healthcare centers and Basti Dawakhanas, etc. So here this is also one great success that I can see. Because of this universal vaccination program, or whenever we are focusing on this curative medicine, so that also led to preventing of diseases. For example, some diseases like smallpox, polio, neonatal tetanus, measles, okay, that had been improved. And if you see in particular political leaders across the spectrum, they have leaned towards initiatives and that promise immediate results. So whatever the promises that are given by the political parties or the leaders, so they are promising the immediate results. But in this health department, you have to remember one thing always, that is we are not going to get the results immediately. Okay, so they are promising that we are going to come up with a new hospital, subsidized treatment in private hospitals, and they are saying that we are going to provide tertiary care, for example, Ayushman Bharat, emergency response, okay, etc. here. So these are some populist health policies that are coming up by the leaders. And many of these measures do not have much an impact because there is lack of action beyond public announcements. So yes, already you know that whatever the spending which is seen in this health sector, for example, if you are seeing for the contribution of GDP, it is very, very less. So because of this, always the political parties or the leaders, they will be facing this budget constraint. They will be not having the enough budget. Okay, they will be not having enough budget to come up with to keep up their promises like new hospitals, infrastructure, etc. So, but even before being implemented, these schemes, so here focus of our leaders, they will be have divert attention from critical areas. So even they will be not focusing on this sanitation, disease surveillance and public health education. So these are very, very important to maintain the population health and to prevent this outbreak. So this will be neglected by these leaders. And if you are talking about in case of dengue, so there is one case study which is given. So the cases had been increased. Surge means increasing, okay, in the urban areas. So now the political leaders, they started mobilizing the state machinery, and they are saying that we have to set up immediate relief camps at the expense of long-term strategies such as understanding vector biomes, developing of effective vaccines. So rather than that we are especially focusing on immediate relief camps, and we need both. Okay, so we need both. So prioritizing the immediate response over the sustainable prevention, and especially if you're talking about health, yes, we have to focus on or we have to invest in this R&D. That is, research and development is very much helpful. Research and development is very much helpful in these areas. So this is the thing which mainly said by author. And apart from this, not only the populistic measures or the schemes of government, but even because of this climate change also, it's affecting the breeding of mosquito and the movement patterns of this mosquito, and even public health strategies, they need to adopt these changes because of even climate change. So if you are writing an answer regarding climate change, so we can also add one more dimension, is it is also having impact on the health. Okay, like vector breeding. And next one is public health decisions. They should be based on scientific evidence, and we have to focus on long-term goals rather than short-term interests. So this is the thing which mainly said. And should not be based on electoral cycles as well. So India reports about 21.4 lakh TB cases in 2021, and we can see if you compare with 2020, there was around 18% of increase of these TB cases. right? So here if you're talking about the disparity, so availability of medical treatment is there, but here even this TB is also related to socio-economic factors like poverty, sanitation, overcrowding. Okay, so because of this also there is spread of this TB is happening. So we have to also focus on these areas of socio-economic factors. And this article says that there are some gaps in our healthcare system. So yes, there is behavioral change. So we need to focus on this behavioral change. So this behavioral change, it is the key to manage public health challenges. And if there is any absence of specialized courses like public health engineering in India's education institutions, so it is also one important gap. So we have to include this public health engineering as a multidisciplinary approach in this public health management system. And next one is public health. It is not just about the treating of diseases that we are getting, but even we have to focus on how to prevent them. For that, we need expertise in the various fields such as environmental sciences, sociology, urban planning and economics, etc. And even we have to focus on what are the short-term political goals. Okay, so how can we develop sustainable health strategies? And we have to address immediate, okay, we have to address both immediate and future health needs of the population. So these are some important things which mainly said by author. I hope you understood, right? Yeah, and now let us move on to paper and let us see this opinion page. Yes, you can see this article. It is regarding early nutrition impacts cognitive development. So now let us see some dimensions. So this article is talking about early nutrition. So if you are having a good proper diet, nutritional diet to children, so we can ensure good health. Okay, we can ensure good health. So I can give example in case of me. I have twins. Now they are around 7.5 months. So actually everyone will be saying that you have to breastfeed your children. Okay, but at a month of 5 months itself I stopped it because of my career. So now everyone will be scolding me why you stopped breastfeeding. Okay, so this article is saying that yes, children, they have to be breastfed at least till 2 years of time, and especially from 6 months onwards, along with the breastfeeding, we have to give some supplementary food. We have to give some supplementary food. So whenever you are focusing on the supplementary food which is nutritious, then you can address the issues like anemia, stunting, wasting, etc. Okay, so you will address this issue. So if you are focusing on good supplementary food, so your children will be healthy and they will be not having any of this disease. So here this article says that stunting. Stunting means nothing but low height to age. So whatever the height should be there for age, so that is not there. So they are short. So here stunting is also not only about the weight, but even this stunting will be having effect on cognitive development. Cognitive development is nothing but brain development in short. Okay, it will be like cognitive development. So this article is saying that, so how can we address this stunting along with cognitive development? So what are the steps that can be taken? Okay, that's it. So here you have to know what is the meaning of stunting and you have to collect data. So here recently National Family Health Survey 5 released the data regarding stunting and you have to collect that data. So that is your exam, that is your homework, and that is also given in the paper. So that I will show you. Okay, so here this article is talking about stunting. So stunting, it is having irreversible effects. It is not just about height of children, but even it will be having the impact on cognitive development of child, so that they will be having the long-term impact on the child. Okay, so now let us see what are the key strategies which are to be taken. Okay, so now let us move on to notes. So here this article is saying that stunting is low height to age. So stunting is irreversibly affecting not just the height but also cognitive development of child, and even it will be having the long term impact on the child. Okay, so even it will be having impact on the height, even it will be having the impact on the educational levels. Okay, so all these things are seen, and even the children who are stunted, they have low educational achievements. Especially this has been studied in low and middle income countries. So what is stunting? Stunting is defined as low height for age, and because of this chronic or recurrent undernutrition, yes, we can see this. So what are the main causes? The causes will be poverty, causes will be hunger and low standard of living, nutritional and frequent illness, or inappropriate feeding in their early life. But I will be focusing most on feeding of my kids. So even though in this busy schedule also, I will only prepare their food and I will only feed them. Okay, 3 times a day. Okay, and next one is stunting prevents the children from reaching their physical and cognitive potential. So it will be also not allows them. Okay, so that will also leads to the decreasing of their performance. And what are the key strategies that we have to follow? So first and the foremost thing here is we have to promote early breastfeeding. Okay, and we have to continue that breastfeeding for at least 2 years, and along with that breastfeeding we have to provide complementary feeding. Okay, so we have to give some feed outside. We can start at the 6th month of age. And so this is not only preventing the stunting but also fosters optimal child development. Okay, that will also helpful in child development. And the government initiatives also came up like Mother's Absolute Affection Program and Poshan Abhiyan. So they need to be expanded, and especially government need to provide some support for the lactating women, because whenever this women they are feeding their babies, so the fat in them that will be dissolved, first thing, and even the calcium absorption will be not happening. So calcium weakness will be seen or calcium deficiency, and because of that lactating women they will be having frequent body pains and especially back pain, leg pain, etc. that I faced a lot. And even I think you will be believing or not, so I lost a lot of weight. Okay, I lost a lot of weight, and after my delivery I lost about 17 kgs of weight. So it is because of extensive work and as well as taking care and no sleeps, sleepless nights, everything, whatnot. Okay, so because of all those reasons now I stopped and everyone is scolding me. So I don't bother what society thinks. Okay, but I will be focusing on my child health at large. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly happened. So because of that here, even every family members, especially spouse, they have to focus and they have to give some support to their spouses, and especially government need to bring up some programs that are focusing on this lactating women, like providing some nutritious foods or protein powders and some foods that will be improving the blood levels, okay, in this lactating women. Okay, and even government need to provide some breastfeeding friendly environments like creches in private centers. And this one is at the same time improving maternal nutrition is very crucial. So we have to improve the nutrition of these mothers also, because what are the mother eating, so that will be going on to passing on to their children through this milk, and healthier mothers they have healthier babies. And the second important thing is, as a second one is child is growing, so diversifying their diet. So you should not give only one diet, we have to give everything, like we have to include fruits, we have to include cereals, we have to include like millets, rice, etc., carbohydrates, etc. So India should implement and scale up the community based complementary feeding programs. Okay, and this one is they can educate the parents about importance of adding variety of foods to their child's diet after 6 months of age and focusing on locally available nutrient rich food options. So I will be feeding my children with the fruits, okay, and I will be giving Cerelac, and I will be giving like multigrain cerelac that is prepared in a home, and also I will be focusing on dry fruits, everything, whatnot. So yes, whenever you are giving some supplementary food, yes, you have to focus on the nutrient rich food options. Okay, next one is finally we have to add an extra Anganwadi worker to each Anganwadi center. So that could helpful especially to improve awareness among the mothers, how we have to focus on their children. And next one is especially one case study which is given, okay, that is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu have shown extra staff that can double preschool instructional time and also improve the math and language scores and also reduce child stunting and severe malnutrition. Okay, so in this way we can also increase this Anganwadi people. Clear? So this is about this topic, and now let us move on to this text and context. So there is one article regarding pros and cons of simultaneous elections, and number of times we discuss this topic. So now let us see the dimensions so that you will be getting some idea like how to read this topic. Yes or no? Yes, this article is talking about simultaneous elections. So the simultaneous elections is also called as one nation, one election. It is talking about one nation, one election. So this article is very important from your GS paper 2. Okay, so it is important from GS paper 2 under your polity. So what are the dimensions that you have to think? So first one here is you have to focus on what is the meaning. So it is talking about simultaneous elections between what? Between Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assembly. At the same time we need to have elections. That concept is called as simultaneous elections. And you have to see why again this simultaneous elections is in use. So why? And next important one is what are the pros, that means advantages, and next you can see like what are the cons, like what are the arguments against or disadvantages. So all these things are very important, and this topic is at most important from your mains. So you can get a question from your mains, like 10 marker question or 15 marker question regarding this simultaneous elections, and they may ask your opinion whether you want to go with this or not, and you have to develop your own perspective. Clear? So if you are understanding how to read this current affairs, so please hit the like button. So don't leave the session without hitting the like button, because we are going to learn a lot in the future classes, and we are also going to provide live classes soon. Okay, so follow us on YouTube channel, and please do subscribe to this Rathods IS Academy channel so that you will be getting lots and lots of updates on YouTube regarding your preparation. Clear? And now let us move on to this notes part for the simultaneous election. So why it is in use? A high level committee. So this committee is headed by our ex-president, that is Ramnath Kovind ji, okay, who was a former president of India, and this high level committee was constituted in September 2023, and this have a function. So what is the function of this high level committee? So this committee has to examine the issues of holding simultaneous elections. So they have to see whether the simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies and local bodies of all the states. Okay, so they will be examining the issue of the simultaneous elections. And this committee which has invited responses from political parties. Okay, so they got the responses from these political parties, and the law commission and other groups of proposal, they hold this simultaneous elections. And if you see some details, it said that during the first 4 general elections after we got independence, that is in 1952, 1957, 1962 and 1967. So the elections for both this Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, they were held simultaneously. Okay, so it was estimated that the cost of holding general elections, okay, to Lok Sabha, it will be around 4,000 crore rupees for central government. And each state assembly elections would also cost considerable amount of money according to the size of the state. So based on the size of state here, if they want to go for elections for state legislative assembly, so they will be also taking the amount, right? So here, whenever you are conducting the simultaneous elections, that is both elections like Lok Sabha and the state legislative assembly elections on together, so here that will cause somewhat a decreasing of finance issue, and even that will be helpful, okay? That is the thing which mainly said here. But the problem here is national issues, they will be overshadowing this state issues, and national political parties, they will be getting advantage over the regional political parties. So these are some things which are said in this article. And now let us see in detail like what are the arguments which are favoring this one nation one election. So which are supporting this one nation one election. So first one is it will reduce the huge expenditure incurred, okay, for the separate elections. And next one is the problem of frequent elections lead to imposition of moral code of conduct, okay, for the prolonged period. So whenever this model code of conduct is imposed, so that will be impacting or that will be affecting the normal governance process. And if you are going for the simultaneous elections, we can overcome this issue. So this is one more advantage. And simultaneous elections leads to overcome the disruption of normal public life. Normal public life will be affected. So we can address that issue as well. And the simultaneous election will free the crucial manpower, okay, because they will be deployed for the prolonged periods on election duties, and even before elections the police forces, they will be present on the road and they will be checking the vehicles whether they are carrying money or weapons or anything, right? And next one is the term of this Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha would normally commence and expire on a particular date. So the focus on governance will increase instead of focusing on elections. And according to Law Commission, even it raises voters' participation and it will raises the focus of administrative machinery to nation. Okay, and next one here is the system will also reduce the disruption in essential services like policy paralysis will be reduced. So these are the commonly the advantages or the arguments in favor of one nation, one election. And what about this statements which are against this one nation, one election? Yes, there are other statements as well. So first one is it will hamper the federalism because it undermines the fundamental principle here, that is the basic component of our constitutional structure, that is federalism is affected. And even if you want to conduct elections of Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly throughout the country, it is also leads lack of infrastructure. So we do not have that much infrastructure. So because of this, central government can faces massive logistical challenges. And next one is regional variation. Synchronizing elections may not account for these regional variations adequately. And there are also some financial implications, like conducting elections is expensive and requires significant resources like manpower. So we don't have that much manpower as well. And next one is issue of dissolution, prematurely dissolution on account of a vote of no confidence. So whenever in some states they are going for dissolution of the house, so that time they have to go for elections. Okay, so that will be not possible in the simultaneous elections. And this one is holding simultaneous elections for the whole country has many practical difficulties for this Election Commission of India. And even it raises the question that if ruling party holds absolute majority in all 29 states, so whether the new elections would be required or not. So again, these are some important arguments which are against this one nation, one elections or simultaneous elections. So these are some important things that you have to remember. And even we have the disadvantage to these regional parties, and this national issues will be overshadowed. They are mainly highlighted rather than the state issues. And we launched this mains answer writing course on 22nd of January 2024. So this is absolutely beneficial. And many students, they are thinking that after clearing prelims you are going to focus on mains. That is a completely wrong approach. Yes, completely wrong approach. And believe me, if you have good answering skills and if you have good talent of writing or good writing skills or concising of content, then no one will stop you to see your name in the final list. So that is the thing that you have to learn. So how you are presenting answer. So if I give you a question regarding Indian education system, yes, you can write around 10 pages or 20 pages. So that is not required here. So you have to write the same answer within 100 words or 150 words. So that is a talent that you have to acquire to clear this UPSC. So to acquire that knowledge, so come and join us in this mains answering course. So this is a 1-year course and we are going to provide daily one question based on the detailed schedule. Okay, on Sunday you will be having essay or case study practice as well. Okay, and we are going to provide you the model answer for each and every question, essay or case study, and we are going to focus on detailed evaluation of your answers, and we will be giving you the feedback like where you are going wrong, where you are going right, so how you are writing answers. And apart from that, we are also having live doubt clearing sessions on Zoom on every Monday at 7 to 8:30 p.m. and I will be also posting you the yesterday's recorded class. Okay, so yesterday we recorded this Zoom class. I will be posting that class either today or tomorrow on YouTube. So have a look like how these classes are going on, how you are mentoring the students, everything. Okay, so if you want to join the course, the cost is 8,200 rupees. So if you want to have the schedule or if you have any queries regarding the course, so please contact me on this number 8074765513, and even this is WhatsApp number. You can contact me or ping me on WhatsApp also. Okay, so that's all about this course, and do join this course. It is very, very useful. And now let us go back to this news page. Yes. In this page, I found nothing much important. Yes, here you can see, yeah, 2 articles are important. So first one is Navy ship foils hijacked bid on Iranian flagged vessel. Okay, so what happened again? The issue which is going on in the Red Sea. In the Red Sea, here Houthis are attacking these ships, right? So fishing vessels that was released from pirates following this INS Sumitra intervention in Gulf of Aden. So many a times we discussed about the facts of Gulf of Aden, and as well as I showed you the map of Gulf of Aden. So please let me know which are the countries sharing the boundary with this Gulf of Aden. So the issue here is a swift response by an Indian Navy ship, that is INS Sumitra, deployed in Gulf of Aden, that ensured that hijack situation was quickly resolved, and it ensured the safe release of Iranian flagged fishing vessel. So INS Sumitra was deployed for the safety and security in this Gulf of Aden, and finally one ship which had hijacked, so this issue had been resolved. So again, this article is regarding to this international relations and Hamas and Houthis, and as well as Israel-Palestine issue, and as well as Iran's involvement. So I discussed that in very great detail. And next topic is elections to 56 Rajya Sabha seats on February 27. On February 27, so we have elections. So this article is very important from your polity point of view. Let us see the dimensions. So this topic is talking about elections to Rajya Sabha. So this topic is talking about elections to Rajya Sabha. So when? On February 27th. So here you have to see what are the qualifications for a member to be a Rajya Sabha member. Okay, and you have to see election process. You have to see electoral college. And you will be knowing that these elections to Rajya Sabha are indirect elections. So what is the name? Okay, so all these things are very, very important from your Rajya Sabha point of view. And if you open your Lakshmikant book, then you can get easily the details of these elections to this Rajya Sabha. So there is a separate chapter which is there. So go through that once. And if you move on, in this world page also I found nothing much important. Yes, in this business page, page number 14, you can see one article. So this article is regarding finance minister says economy likely to grow closer to 7% in 2024 to 2025. So just see this. ahead of interim budget. So we are going to have this budget will be placed on February 1st, right? So in head of interim union budget, finance ministry came with a report, and this report said that India's real GDP, which is closer to 7% in this 2024 to 2025. Okay, so here finance ministry contains the state of Indian economy today. It is far better than Narendra Modi assumed the power. So when this BJP government came into power in year 2014, so from that time onwards, if you see in this 2024, yes, the economy status is very good. So this statement is given by our finance minister. And here CEA, that is Chief Economic Advisor, says 7% of growth when the world struggles to grow 2% is better than 8 to 9% of growth when world grows 4%. Okay, so now we are growing at 7%, but if you see, the world is growing at 2%. Okay, so we came up with structural reforms since 2014. So because of that structural reforms, that mainly strengthened macroeconomic fundamentals. So this is the thing which mainly said by finance ministry, and finance ministry outlines the reforms such as GST, IBC, but not only makes a passing mention of demonetization 2016. So these are the some things which are mainly said, and you can go through this article. So that's all. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. So if you really like this class, hit the like button, and please do share this video to your friends in groups like WhatsApp or Telegram groups. And one more thing here is, please do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy, and do join this mains answer writing series so that I will be personally mentoring you. Thank you so much for watching.